Hello good people, this is FisherTwelve and we have another exciting Call of Duty Advanced Warfare video for you guys today, as always. And today we're going to be taking a look at the recent weapon patches that came in last week's update. There were 4 guns that were affected by this patch, and they were the HBRa3, the AE4, the EPM3, and the Tac-19, and we're going to talk about how each one was changed. I can say that for the most part, the adjustments were buffs, which is great. We know Michael Condrey had tweeted that they were only looking to buff guns as opposed to nerfing them, so it's nice to see him follow through on that and to see the studio keeping up on their word. Also, as a quick side note, all the weapon patches affected both the base weapon and all variants too, so just something to keep in mind. Now, let's take a look at the first patched weapon, which was the HBRa3. So the HBRa3 received an increase in its max damage range. Now, max damage range is basically just what it sounds like. It's the fewest number of bullets it takes to kill an enemy, and then how far that distance is. The rate that bullets kill an enemy at usually increases after a certain distance. This is no different than any other Call of Duty. Just for an easy example, a gun can kill in 4 bullets from, let's say, 50 to 100 feet, and then it takes 5 bullets to kill an enemy from 100 to 200 feet, and then 6 bullets for anything after 200 feet. You know, these are of course arbitrary numbers, but this is the basic concept behind max damage range. So in Advanced Warfare, the HBRa3 can kill an enemy quickest at an average rate of 3 bullets. And that distance has been significantly increased. It's about 5 times greater than it was before. The actual in-game measurement is called 200 units. I'm not sure how that translates to steps or actual distance per foot or per yard, but it's 200 units. It's about 5 times more than what it previously was, and now it actually has the largest 3-shot kill range out of all the assault rifles. So this increase in stat makes the HBRa3 the best assault option for close quarters combat now. The next weapon patched in this update was the AE4, which actually received 3 different updates to it. They were reduced recoil, an increased number of shots before overheating, and adjustment in the iron sights. Now, all 3 of these are pretty self-explanatory. Reduced recoil is simply less kick when firing. I didn't think the AE4 really needed an adjustment in the recoil attribute, but the increased shots before overheating was very much needed. I found it difficult to get double and triple kills with the AE4 since it used to overheat after only 16 shots. And only having 16 shots, you have to be pretty accurate with all of those if you can get a triple kill. But this recent patch increased that to 22 shots, so that's nearly a 38% increase overall, and that's going to be enough to kill another enemy and a half, just about. So this gun can now hang with the HBRa3 and the BA. And also the change to the iron sights, I think that's going to be very useful too. Previously, the iron sights were a little inaccurate in terms of where your bullets were going and where you were aiming. Typically, they were falling a little short of where you actually were aiming, but this most recent patch had fixed that alignment issue as well. The EPM3 received a decrease in recoil as well. Bullets that would typically be up in the sky will now actually hit enemies, and this makes the EPM3 a much more viable option. I wouldn't say the best option, but certainly a lot better. It got a buff previously so that it always kills in 3 shots, but it was difficult to land those 3 shots. But with this added buff, I think you guys will see this gun being used a lot more. And finally, the Tac-19 also receiving a max damage range increase. You can get massive 1-shot kills from pretty far out now, and that might sound a little concerning to some, but I believe that's how shotgun should work. I think shotgun should be much more like the Modern Warfare 2 shotguns. I wouldn't say the Tac-19 is anywhere near the FisherTwelve, or certainly not like the Model 1887, but I mean especially on these pump action shotguns where the time to kill is so great that if you miss 1 shot, you pretty much are done, that in these coin flip or almost coin flip situations, it makes sense that they kill in 1 shot. So the Tac-19 getting an increase in its max damage range. It was also supposed to get a reduced hip fire spread when using gung-ho, but that adjustment didn't seem to happen, or at least it's not noticeable in-game. It might have been noticeable when they were testing internally, but when they sent it out externally, the testing didn't really follow through, or maybe a greater adjustment needs to be made, but I don't see any change in the max hip spread. I think Drifter also commented on this as well, so we'll see if it gets adjusted in the next patch. But those were all the weapon patches that came in this recent update. It's just a small taste of what's to come. The developers over at Sledgehammer have been alluding to more weapon patches coming in the future updates, so we'll have to wait and see what those hold. But let me know in the comments down below what weapon you think still needs to be patched and how. I think they really need to work on the SMGs. I think the ASM-1 is really the only viable option, the KF5 was, pretty good at the start, but I don't think it holds up nearly as well as the ASM1, and certainly not to the assault rifles, so we'll see what they do there. But that's going to be the video I have for you guys today. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give the video a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Also, make sure to follow me on Twitter at FisherTwelve, same as the channel name. There'll be a link down in the description. Make sure to check out my live stream as well at twitch.tv/FisherTwelve. I live stream Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hope to see you guys there. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and take care.